In this video, I'm going to give you my opinion of Masters of the Universe Revelation, so stay tuned. Hey guys, my name is Eon and welcome to my Start Animating YouTube channel, the channel that is specifically aimed at all the aspiring animators. So if you are new to animation, then you are at the right place. So feel free to click on that subscribe button and also click on that little notification bell so that you can get notified every week when I upload a new video. Now, I've decided to create a whole new series of videos and that is going to be reviews of TV shows or animation shows or animation movies, 2D or 3D, it doesn't matter. But I'm going to do it from a viewpoint as an animator. So I'm not going to look at it like a fan or a movie critic. I'm just going to look at it from an animation point of view. And I'm going to look at 4 aspects of these shows or movies. And the first one will be story. The second one, character design. The third one is animation, and then the fourth one will be the artistic look or style of the show or the movie. And then obviously I will just give my final opinion. So let's kick off with the first one, the story. The story of Masters of the Universe Revelation. I was really torn, to be honest with you. Episode 1 was really great. I loved episode 1. It really ended in a fascinating way. And then from episode 2, everything just fell apart. I just feel like if you want to take on an iconic series like Masters of the Universe, you'll have to stay true to the story, to what makes it so popular. And the key figure of Masters of the Universe is He-Man. He is the key character, the main character of this whole series. He is the hero of the series. And just a spoiler alert, I may give away some things that happen in the show. So if you haven't watched it and you want to still go and watch it, then maybe this video is not for you, or just close your ears. But in the end of the first episode, He-Man dies, and then Tira becomes the hero, and she's the main character of the series. And He-Man is he's just secondary. He's not a main. He only features here and there, and that is really disappointing. To give you an example, to take He-Man out of Master of the Universe is like Knight Rider, the famous, if they have to do a remake of Knight Rider, and in the first episode, Kit was in a massive car accident, and for the rest of the series, you only end up with David Hasselhoff. I mean, it's not the Knight Rider. The whole show evolves around the car. And it's the same with Master of the Universe. The whole show evolves around He-Man. He is the key figure. And to take that away and make someone else the main character, that was kind of disappointing. So in that aspect, it was really a letdown. The second reason I didn't like the story that much is for me it feels like it wasn't written very well. There's a few things that I've noticed, and I say this because as an animator, as a storyteller, as someone who creates his own animation shows as well, I really look up at big shows like Master of the Universe, like The Simpsons, or like the Pixar movies. You know, as a new animator, you really look up to these shows to learn from them, to see how they do things. And one thing that I've learned, there are videos on YouTube that you can go watch, but there's a method that Pixar uses when they tell their stories that really makes their story so it really captivates the audience. So they use certain methods, and one of the methods that they use is that there shouldn't be easy out for a character. So a character can fall into a situation by coincidence, but they should never get out of a situation by coincidence. There should never be an easy way out, because they say it's like cheating. So when a character gets himself in a situation, he really needs to work himself out of it. There shouldn't be an easy way out. And with Masters of the Universe Revelation, there's so many times where the characters are in a situation and you don't know how they're going to get out of it, and then like 2 minutes later something crazy happens and they're out of it. It really feels like it's one of the key aspects that I've learned from animation and storytelling that they've ignored. And I really feel a big show like this, with big names behind the creation of the show, that they've missed that was kind of disappointing. Maybe it is because it was only 5 episodes and they didn't really have time to create or to build the story so that the character can get out of the situation. They had to do it quickly. Maybe that's one of the reasons, but then they really should look at was it really necessary to put the characters in those situations? Because a lot of them were unnecessary. They found themselves in a situation, and then 2 minutes later they're out of it, and then my first reaction was this necessary? Was it really necessary to put them in this situation? Because it didn't really change the bigger picture of the story. So from that point of view, I was really, really disappointed. So the story, like I've mentioned, it was disappointing. It did have its good moments, like episode 1 was awesome. The final episode right at the end, episode 5, it really ended in a way that I can't wait for the next season. So some more thumbs up for the ending, but everything in between was just, it was just, it didn't live up to anyone's expectations. And I think all the Masters of the Universe fans, I really think they were disappointed with this. So the story, I would give it a 4 out of 10. The second thing is character creation. And here I really love the characters, and the reason why I like it, because they stay true to the original designs of the characters. So many times when Hollywood creates a remake of an old classic, they always try and to give the characters a new look, and they want to modernize the characters, and they really take away from the characters and how we remember it. And one thing that I've really enjoyed about Masters of the Universe Revelation is that they stuck with the true characters, how I remember them. I've watched Masters of the Universe about 35 years ago, and every time a character appears in this show, I can immediately remember that character. So that is one thing I really enjoyed. I really appreciate that they stay true to the original designs of the characters. It really brings back that nostalgia, how a fan of the show remembers the characters. So that I really enjoyed that. So for that, I would have given them 8 out of 10. But there was one thing that I didn't enjoy with the characters, and that was He-Man himself. He-Man, for some or other reason, was just massive. He was built like the Incredible Hulk. In some scenes, he was just too big, and that is not how I remember He-Man. Yes, he was muscular and big and strong, but he was the same size as all the other male characters in the show. In this show, He-Man is just massive. He is actually, they've made him so big, he's actually out of proportion. He doesn't look like a normal human being in some scenes. So for that, I really didn't like it. So I would give the character creation a 7 out of 10. So when it comes to the animation, and that is something also that I've really looked at as an animator myself. Now, this really depends on how you're going to look at the animation. If you're going to compare it to like The Lion King, then this show, you would say this will get a 2 out of 10. Because for me, The Lion King is just, the animation in that movie is just absolutely brilliant. So it's very difficult to compare this Masters of the Universe Revelation to something like Lion King, because there's also a lot of detail in this show, which makes it, the more detail you add to a character, the more difficult it is to actually animate it and to make it more realistic, especially when it comes to muscles and the anatomy of a character. So it's really difficult to give it like a good mark when it comes to that. But what I really enjoyed about the animation is that it really reminded me of the early 80s, 70s animation shows from Saturday morning. So it really did brought me back to that era. And I think, again, for Masters of the Universe fans who watched the original animation show would look at this and say, this really brings back the memories of that time and that era and of the original show. So I don't know if they've done it intentionally, the animation, perhaps not, I don't know. But just the fact that it was done the same way as I remember it, like the animation shows back in the 80s, I really like that. So I like that they kept the characters like we remember them. I like the fact that they kept the animation style the way we remember it. It's just a shame that the story, they just messed up. They didn't stick to the story of how we remember Masters of the Universe. So for the animation, I would also give it a 7 out of 10. The final point is the artistic look and feel of the show. And here I have to give them credit. The show looks amazing. It really, really looks amazing. The detail on the characters, the detail on the background, the show really looks artistically amazing. So I can't really say more about that. I would give the artistic look and feel of this show a 9 out of 10. And so finally, my overall opinion of the show as an animator, like I've mentioned, I love the character creation or the characters. I love the animation. I love the artistic look and feel of the show. It's just the story just fell apart for me. They didn't stuck with the original story. They took out the main character. They didn't, okay, you may make the argument they didn't take him out completely, but he's not the main character. He's not the character that the whole story evolves around from. So they moved away from the Masters of the Universe as we know it as a child back in the 80s. So that was very disappointing. So I think artistically they've done a great job to try and bring back the nostalgia that we as He-Man fans would have. They've really succeeded in that. It's only the story that just fell apart, and I think that is the main thing and the lesson that I've learned from this show, and I think every animator can learn from, is how important your story actually is to the success of your animation show. You can have great characters, you can have great animation, you can have great art, the whole animation will look amazing, but if the story isn't great, it doesn't matter. So that is one thing that I've learned as an animator watching this show, is how important the story actually is. So my overall opinion is I would give it like a 6 out of 10. It is great to watch. I think if you are a Masters of the Universe fan, you would be very disappointed with the story. If you didn't grow up with He-Man and Masters of the Universe and you are watching this for the first time, then probably the story won't bother you. You won't be bothered that He-Man is not the main character. For you, it is a whole new story. It is something new that you are introduced to, so you won't matter. But I think for the true diehard He-Man fans, I think they will be very disappointed with the show. So I would give this show a 6 out of 10. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what your feelings are towards the show. Did you like it? Especially from an animation point of view, the characters, the artwork, the animation. Did you enjoy it? What's your opinion on the story? Were you disappointed or do you like it? Let me know in the comment box below. I'd love to hear from you. And remember, feel free to hit that subscribe button and also click on that notification bell so that you can get notified every week when I upload a new video. So guys, from me, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Till next time, God bless.